All right, guys, we're now live on YouTube. Our scanners are live on YouTube, and we'll be going over my trades, going over whatever hits the scanner, and my approach to trading. So if you guys want to get in on this, we live trade Monday through Friday, bullishboblive.com. We'll alert if I see anything moving, and we'll let you guys know when I'm trading.
Anna. That's Plug and OLN.
All right, guys. Welcome to the pre-market show. We are live on YouTube. Appreciate you guys joining in. And feel free to share this.
ACXP, Accurex, Indian Patent Office, grants Accurex patent for DNA polymerase
how I approach the market.
3C inhibitors. That's Alpha Charlie X-ray Papa, ACXP.
Friday. I go over my trades in voice. You can find that at bullishboblive.com. We've got tons of resources over there for anyone learning how to day trade low float stocks. This is my specialty, guys. This is what I do. So focusing on low float momentum. So cheaper stocks, typically under, usually anywhere from 1 to 50 is my price range, but really prefer stocks under
STT, State Street reporting revenue up 5%.
So focusing in on the strategy here, we
$2.57 billion.
Let me pause the news for a second. Trade a very strict strategy here, guys. Confirmation strategy and the Pivot Pro. These are two strategies that I lean on whenever trading low float stocks. Confirmation strategy is something that is very consistent. However, it's not. We're not going to see as many high quality type of setups throughout the week. So it's the high quality setups are far and few between. So it requires a lot of patience and discipline. So confirmation strategy, it's great and it's very accurate. However, it's not. You're not going to get as many opportunities throughout the week. So then we developed the Pivot Pro. Pivot Pro is going to give us more opportunities throughout the week. It is going to have more opportunities both on the long and short side, depending on what kind of trader you are. Personally, I'll be looking for long trades throughout the pre-market session. But no position for myself, watching a few of these charts, and we'll look for where the volume is. Our scanner will identify where that volume is in the market. My chart will then help me aid in entry and exit and mitigate risk. And, of course, my rules to my strategy and staying disciplined and patient will keep me consistent. So it is a whole recipe for success. But we'll go over my trades, guys. Feel free to join in our Discord, bullishboblive.com. You can ask questions throughout the week. And, again, this is something I do live every day. So it's usually starting around 7 a.m. Eastern time. Ticker CHRO is testing near highs. The high today is 257. Current price is 220. That's CHRO, getting a small pop near highs. And I am green this morning, guys. For anyone who's just joining us on YouTube Live, I am green this morning trading TGL. I start trading around 7 a.m. Eastern time. Got a nice win on TGL this morning to get us started. Locked in profit and looking to retain that profit. We have tomorrow off. This is our last day of the week, guys. Short week this week. And I think it's been a slower anyways, lackluster type of pre-market sessions this week. So just keeping that in mind. Not sure what to expect today, but what I will do is stick to the strategy. If trading a lower quality type of setup, I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size, or can always choose to avoid to retain my weekly profit. So I'm green on the week and leading on that cushion to take trades this morning. However, like I said, guys, not a huge week for me. So this has been a slower week overall. Last week was a really nice week. This week, not so much. So watching TGL here, getting a small pop. TGL is a micro float, getting a small pop here. Has resistance at $4.90 and $5. Want to see it over $4.90 and $5. And we'll expect choppy price action on TGL. This is another one of those lower quality type setups that I've been mentioning. So we'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop level, or can choose to avoid. I'm green on TGL, green on the week, and looking to retain that profit is my number one goal today.
CHRO. Major red flag spotted.
Ticker CHRO is on watch, and TGL, watching TGL and CHRO. No position for myself at this time. And news is in chat this morning if you need it.
KOPN, Copen. Reporting full year revenue of $50.3 million. That's up 24.6% year over year. Q4 revenue up 71% year over year.
CMND, getting a chart in chat for our team. CMND.
Revenue of $14.6 million for Q4 for Copen.
Charts in chat for ticker CMND, getting a small pop. Seeing news, sharing the headline in chat. News headline is in chat for CMND. News headline is in chat.
CHRO. Major red flag spotted.
CMND getting a pop with just under 10,000 shares on that candle, hitting highs at 110, pulling back down 104, waiting for volume to arrive on CMND, watching, no position for myself at this time. Seeing recent resistance on CMND on the trend IQ through 154, letting me know that this is going to be a lower quality type of setup. We'll have to mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop level, or we'll choose to avoid. We'll have to close over 154 for confirmation and continuation today. That is CMND. We'll put a note in
CHRO.
CMND will have to close over resistance 154 and seeing a cluster of resistance above. Let's see where it goes to till about 180. So 154 and 180 are the key levels. This is a cluster of resistance. We'll put a note in chat, red flag. So if trading CMND, we'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size, and we'll adjust my stop level. No position for myself at this time, waiting for volume to arrive before taking my next trade.
QURE. QURE.
QURE getting a small pop. QURE. That's QURE getting a small pop here.
QURE. QURE.
Watching QURE for possible trade will be high risk. QURE seeing lower volume and wider spreads. QURE getting a pop now.
QURE.
Watching QURE for possible trade. Will trade smaller size if trading QURE. No position for myself. Getting a pop here. 1424. Now 1428 spiking QURE. And seeing resistance through about 1550 on QURE. If we can get above 1550, we start to open up a little bit. QURE will be on watch for continuation. One thing I want to keep in mind, guys, is QURE exactly, as Joey just mentioned there in chat, a 43 million share float. That's exactly my thinking there, Joey. So the float size is a little higher than we like QURE to trade. So that means that is a red flag, and we'll treat it as such. So we're expecting choppy price action on ticker QURE due to that float size. So red flag there being spotted out. Good spot there, Joey. And pulling back sharply, seeing this on the chart, QURE pulling back, hitting highs 1429, now back down to 1323. So very wide spreads, that low volume, and that very high risk type of setup. Again, the reason for it, that larger flow is going to be a major factor. That, and of course, we have about 1550. So just a couple red flags.
Major red flag spotted.
The 7-mirror Earth oxide is now subject to Chinese export controls at scale. That's uniform.
For just a second. I'll pull this over. You guys can see this. And anyone who's listening,
major red flag spotted
as well. So looking at this chart, it looks a little messy, right? But what it is we've got lines and levels here. That's going to be our confirmation, support, and resistance. We then have our trend IQ over here on the left-hand side, letting us know that this is a quick trade or lotto trade. And we have our trend line here, our trend zone. That's going to be with the 1-minute Bullish Pivot Pro. So our indicators are giving us those green candles on bullish momentum, red candles, bearish momentum. We want to see the green candles if we're trading long, red candles if we're trading short. Closing above pivot zones, that's what we want to see. It then needs to hold the pivot zone. Anything below is bearish. This helps mitigate risk because what this is doing is saying that this pivot zone is where I'm getting in. I'll get in if the price closes above this pivot zone. My stop will be below this pivot zone. It's a clear indication of strategy.
AXP American Express share is now trading down about $3, 249.75 following their earnings.
However, we see a recent resistance all the way through 1543 up here. And these numbers may be a little small, but I have them shrunken down so it's easier for me to see. This is a cluster of resistance. So if you guys see this right here, this would be a cluster of resistance. Forgive my my amazing drawing here, but you guys get the idea. A cluster of resistance is a number of resistance levels that are bunched together, basically. A cluster. This is going to be that cluster right up here. So seeing that cluster of resistance, we're expecting choppy price action. Seeing on the trend IQ over here on the left, it says the float size is a 49 million share float. It's in red. That is a red flag. Quick trades and lotto trades at best, that's a trade type. That is a red flag. So multiple red flags here, guys. If trading QURE, we know exactly what to expect. So if trading that one, again, we'll mitigate risk and trade smaller size if and adjust the stop level. So if trading that one, just want to make sure we're aware of the conditions. So no position for myself at this time. Yeah, Aaron Hadi, that's because it gapped from that price you're talking about all the way to the price that we got alerted. So there was no volume there at all. It moved on 1,000 shares. Yeah, that's not something that we can trade.
QURE.
QURE.
QURE on watch, watching QURE for a possible trade. Yeah, and just seeing these comments here in chat. For me, guys, no volume, no trade. That's my number one rule. No volume equals no trade, period. So if there's no volume, really don't want our scanners to be alerting on stocks that don't have any volume. So you'll notice our scanners are top-notch. They're alerting on stocks that matter, not stocks that are not really tradable. If it has very low volume, then that tends to come with those wide spreads, and I'm not going to get filled. So if there's only 1,000 shares or less on a candle that that popped up, guys, that is very high risk. So if I'm trading 5,000, 10,000 shares, I would never get filled on a 1,000-share candle. So that is very low volume. So we'll sit out of the low volume type of movers, and our scanners are designed to alert when we start to get volume. And we're not going to be alerting on stocks that don't have volume. Again, that's just going to be too high risk. You want to be very careful of that. But number one rule for me, guys, again, no volume is equals to no trade. Very simple rule, but I think it's easier said than done. It's hard to follow that. The volume histogram down below will let us know if there's volume. So if I pull this chart over again on the scanners here, if you guys see this, you'll see that the volume down below, there was no volume. So there's this random spike over here. Then there was this very low volume, picking up some, but very low volume. This is when we were alerted on this stock. So I had someone ask, why were we not alerted around $9? The reason we were not alerted around $9 is because there was no volume down here. So if you set your alerts, if you have this 1 minute bullish pivot pro and you want to be alerted whenever you see this signal change here, you can, in theory, get that that signal if you want to set alerts with your 1 minute bullish pivot pro. However, again, this signal is not as attractive to me. Even though it did make a nice move, this is actually untradeable. So even though you see this move here on the chart, because of this volume down below, this is untradeable. So anyone who comes in and says, oh, I'm in from $9 and I sold at 13, they're probably trading, you know, less than 100 shares or something. So it's not really feasible for others and their strategy. So if you're
CHRO,
trading, you know, if you're trading any real size, then you're going to want to stick to volume. If you're trading, you know, very small size, if you're just getting started and beginning out, you can trade these type of lower volume moves. But what I will say is, as you start to grow in your account, if you stick to these lower volume type of moves with larger size, you'll find that you're not getting filled.
Shares of Charles Schwab at the highs now, $80.01 following their earnings report. Sandy Charlie
so for
Hotel
me, guys,
Whiskey.
No volume, no trades. It's
SCHW.
So hopefully that is clear enough.
Reporting earnings and revenue ahead of estimate on SCHW.
No position for myself at this time. We've got about 10 minutes until late prints. Late prints will be coming in around 8 a.m. Eastern time. Keep an eye on the level 2 data or your TradingView charts. TradingView has eliminated those late prints. The scanners on Trade Ideas will alert on late prints, so some of the alerts that come in after 8 a.m., usually between 8 and 8:15 a.m. Eastern time, sometimes can be those late prints. So those are trades that have not been recorded or orders have not been recorded yet. They're getting recorded around 8 a.m. So just be careful of that, guys. Keep in mind that just because it's hitting our scanner doesn't mean I'm trading it. For me, I'm not a scanner trader. I'm a technical trader. So looking for a setup on the chart. So the scanner will identify where is the value in the market, and my indicators will then aid in entry and exit. My discipline and patience will keep me consistent.
Benzinga market update. S&P futures up 21.75. The Dow futures down 578. NASDAQ is up 125. Crude is up 67 cents, $62.50. Natural gas down 2 cents at $3.22. Gold is down $8.80 at 33.37.
Just a quick reminder, guys, setting alerts below
Bitcoin
our
futures
squeeze
up
potential key levels.
255
All of our key
at
levels or the major key levels we're watching the trade
84,790.
today are listed in our squeeze potential.
Coming
chart.
up
This is
at
going to be where
8:15, the
we're looking
ECB
for
rate
that,
decision for
that
April
squeeze
at
momentum that
8:30.
we'd love to see as
Building
bullish
permits,
traders.
housing
That's when all of a sudden
starts,
those shorts start to
jobless
squeeze out of their
claims, and the
position,
Philly
and
Fed
you'll start to see the price really start to gap up quickly. That is something I want to be aware of. So just setting those alerts below those key levels can help us better assess conditions before entering our trades. And what I mean by that, guys, is I pull up the chart. I then look at the trend IQ. I look at the confirmation, support, and resistance. I start to look at some of those conditions and say, is this worthy of my full size? Or is this going to be something where I need to trade smaller size? Or is this something where it's either lotto or just sit out of it? So basically looking at the conditions before taking the trade, I need to do that as soon as possible. And that's why the indicators are so valuable for me, is because I'm able to get those values instantly. So pull up the chart, look at the values, and see whether or not it's high quality versus low quality, and then I determine on the size and strength from there. But setting alerts below our squeeze potential key levels. All key levels are listed in our squeeze potential channel there in Discord. You can find this at bullishboblive.com if you guys are interested. No position for myself at this time. Watching QURE. Pulling back here. Would like to see it over resistance. Went over QURE just a minute ago and the resistance that we're seeing. And sitting out, waiting for volume here.
CHRO.
Ligand to combine its Pelthos unit with Channel Therapeutics.
Seeing volume on this candle for QURE. Seeing volume.
CHRO.
Share is getting some more volume now.
CHRO.
Ticker CHRO getting a pop as well. CHRO.
5 minutes remaining until the 8 a.m. late prints. Monitor the bid and ask prices closely for the most accurate pricing information.
CHRO testing resistance with a bullish vertical trend. Seeing a bullish vertical trend. And seeing a cluster of resistance as well. So just going to have to mitigate risk by trading smaller size, guys, if trading this one. All the way to 305.
CHRO. 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 CHRO.
Getting a pop now. That's CHRO.
CHRO.
With a bullish
CHRO. CHRO.
No position for myself at this time. Watching here. Testing resistance. We have a cluster from 250 to 305.
CHRO.
So 305 top of this move. Expecting choppy price action. 257 is the high. CHRO. Watching for a possible trade. We'll trade smaller size of trading. CHRO testing highs around 257 with a bullish vertical trend. That is a red flag, meaning if I'm trading this setup, I will trade smaller size, or we'll choose to avoid. Watching CHRO here. A few minutes till 8 a.m. late prints. And we'll adjust or avoid if trading CHRO. Watching here for a possible trade. No position for myself at this time. Getting a small pop CHRO. The high today, 257. Testing just below highs now. Current price, 248. 10 cents off the highs. CHRO testing near highs. Seeing resistance at 258 and 264. Next major resistance levels above. And watching here, no position for myself. CHRO showing a 1.3 million share float. Yeah, last week, guys, micro floats were all the rage, right? It was everything. Last week, micro floats were very hot. Started out with JNVR. I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. But we had low floats, micro floats last week that were just running the board, and that was the popular thing to trade. This week, not so much. They're not as hot this week. I think a lot of it is, too, if you pull up the micro float chart, and you look at that chart, what you'll see is oftentimes there's going to be recent bag holders or recent resistance not too long before trading that setup. So seeing those type of resistance levels, seeing those type of bag holders, that's going to create choppy price action. So, not all trades are the same. Not all charts are the same. So that's the point of our indicators. Pull up the chart. It'll let you know whether it's continuation or not. CHRO is worth watching for continuation today. However, we have a cluster of resistance from 258 to 305. So again, expecting choppy price action in that zone on CHRO, and that means I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size. So even though CHRO is showing that high quality type of setup, it still needs to get over recent resistance gap through. So we need to fill that gap again. We need to get above those gaps. That's when shorts start to cover their positions, and that's when all of a sudden the buying power starts to squeeze, right? It just starts to roll in. So CHRO, set your alerts. 258 is the first level. We have a cluster of resistance from 258 to 305. I know I sound like that broken record, but that's what I see here, guys, on CHRO. So again, we'll trade smaller size if trading this one.
URG Energy. UR Energy provides production and construction updates for Q1.
CHRO.
That's URG.
CHRO.
Uniform Romeo Golf.
Ticker QRE getting a small pop. That's QRE getting a small pop here. Testing below resistance.
CHRO. CHRO, 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 TGL, TGL,
THRO, spotted.
CHRO, CHRO,
Prints coming in here.
TGL
For myself at this
Find
time.
it first scanner
Red
alert.
flag spotted. SPY
CNTM
lows.
Connect M retires additional $9 million in debt in April, reducing annual interest expense
TSLA.
by 90%.
NVDA.
November 10th.
NVDA.
CNTM. Shares getting a pop here on that.
Ticker TSLA.
Find it first
TLA.
scanner alert.
CHRO. looks like
Charlie
they're
November
dodging a
Tango
loss.
TSMX.
TSLA.
And not taking that trade too hasty there. Setting a chart, CNTM.
Suna.
CNTM charts in
Spot.
chat for ticker
Spot.
CNTM.
TSLA.
Pop die 71 cents, cheap stock under $1.
CRH
Seeing
company
some
naming a
we'll show
new
news in chat.
CFO, Charlie Romeo Hotel.
U,
CNTM news is in chat for ticker CNTM.
UTZ, Utz Brands reaffirms fiscal year 2025 outlook. Uniform Tango Zulu.
That's ticker CNTM. No position for myself at this time. Dodging a loss there in CHRO. Still watching for a possible trade. Doesn't mean it's over yet. Setting alerts.
KAPA, Karos Pharma, announcing Department of Defense grant to support its study of lead compound ENV 105 to prevent drug resistance in lung cancer. That is Kilo Alpha Papa Alpha,
In my experience, it was not
KAPA.
safer, but that being said, I think a lot of beginner traders just are more comfortable with that. That being said, not every stock is going to give you those type of setups. They're not going to give you that type of high quality, dip buy. A lot of those dips just continue to dip, and then all of a sudden you start to blow out your account. So CHRO is one of those trades where it needs to get above its resistance.
Find it first scanner alert.
If it's dipping here, it's not really the setup I'm looking for. It may offer a small scalp or opportunity, and it may be the best opportunity of the day, but it's still a lower quality type setup. So I want to be very careful and mitigate risk around that. HOTH seeing a small pop, another penny stock under $1. HOTH getting a small pop here with low volume. We'll get the chart in chat in just a minute. CNTM news is in chat. HOTH charts in chat. HOTH. And checking on news for HOTH. Seeing news here. HOTH news is in chat for HOTH. News is in chat. No position for myself at this time. HOTH. And no position. HOTH pop and drop here, 84 cents and falling back down. KIDZ on the scanner. KIDZ on the scanner. KIDZ getting a pop. Seeing some volume. KIDZ.
Find it first scanner alert.
That's ticker KIDZ getting a pop. Charts in chat for KIDZ getting a pop now.
CNTM.
That's ticker KIDZ getting a pop here. Seeing news. News is in chat for KIDZ. News is in chat.
QURE CMNT 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 CMNT
getting a pop now.
CMNT 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 CMNT
CMND charts
CMND.
CMND getting a pop to highs 120. That's ticker
CMND.
And price is extended. No position for myself. Will sit out of CMND. Seeing recent resistance through 150. Doesn't mean it won't get up there, guys. Just means I'm expecting choppy price action. Sitting out of CMND. No position. Testing highs 120. CMND testing highs now 120. For anyone who's watching, CMND.
CMNT CMNT CMNT
And getting a pop to highs now 124.
QURE
highs 124.
CMNT CMNT CMNT
And seeing a bullish vertical trend, testing a cluster of resistance on CMND. So just not
CHRO.
Not the setup I'm looking for here, guys. Doesn't mean it won't go, just not the setup I'm looking for. I think this is going to need a little breather
QURE
here sooner than later. But could be wrong. Again, focusing on risk mitigation here, that's number one. The strategy here is letting me know that this is now extended. Doesn't mean it won't continue. Just means that if I'm getting in, I need to choose to mitigate risk by adjusting my size or choosing to avoid. I'm choosing to avoid here at this time to retain my daily profit and my weekly profit at CMND. So not all trades are going to be taken here. So just because it's setting up and giving me a setup on the 1 minute Bullish Pivot Pro, and it would have worked out.
Major red
doesn't mean I'm
flag
taking
spotted.
it, right? So just because it's a setup doesn't mean it's a high quality setup. A low quality setup is still a low quality setup. So just want to be careful of that. CMND now pulling back from highs. 124 was the high. Current price is 112. That's CMND. And this is a good thing, actually. This is a breather. This is what we want to see. So now we want to see a close above that pivot zone it's forming here around, seeing the pivot zone top of this move around 120, 123 for CMND. No position for myself at this time. Will remain patient for my setup. CISO getting a small pop. That's CISO getting a small pop here. Cheap stock under $1. And I have noticed whenever the whole market is down or struggling to find those opportunities, high quality opportunities,
CLDI
stocks start to hit the board. So not my favorite type of setup. Personally, I like to trade stocks over $1, but we do have some traders that trade these penny stocks. So sharing the chart in chat if you guys need it. CISO, penny stock moving here, no position. CMND will be on watch after this breather. CMND would like to see it over 123 resistance. We have a cluster of resistance from 123 to really all the way through $2. So expecting choppy price action. We'll trade smaller size of trading CMND. No position for myself at this time.
QURE.
CISO now hitting highs at 51 cents. That's CISO.
CISO.
51 cents. And pulling back here, 50 cents now. 51 cents is the high. That's ticker CISO. Cheap stock under $1. Penny stock moving. And no position for myself at this time. Watching CMND for a possible trade. What I do like about CMND is the volume that's coming in at this time. So watching CMND, I like the fact that we have news as well, CMND. What I don't like about it is the recent resistance through 154. So we'll expect choppy price action. CMND. Lower quality type setups could still provide a high quality result, just not always the case.
CMND. 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 HTZ.
QURE, Unicure shares are off the highs now, right now up about $4.50.
CMND now testing resistance.
CMND.
CMND testing resistance here. Watching.
After
CMND.
the FDA breakthrough therapy
CMND
designation for
pop now.
Huntington's
That's
disease
CMND.
treatment.
Major
That's
red flag spotted.
QURE.
And filling gaps here. Watching CMND. It's going to be tough to trade. Watching here. Filling gaps to 130 resistance. No position for myself. CMND is on watch.
CMND.
Smaller size, no
CMND.
exceptions.
CMND.
Watching CMND,
CMND.
for a possible trade here. Testing highs
CMND.
at 131. That's CMND.
CMND. CMND.
Watching CMND for a possible trade will be high risk. We'll trade smaller size here of trading. CMND watching. No position. Testing a cluster of resistance. And look at that pullback there. So really whippy here, really choppy, and that's what we're expecting. That's on CMND. Pulling back here, 120. High is 131. So far avoiding that loss there. No position for myself. So sure, there's maybe a few pennies to be had on CMND, but is it worth the risk, right? That is my job as a day trader, is to assess whether it's worth the risk or not. You know, and again, it's not to discredit anyone who did make money on CMND, not at all. Just trying to go over my process so everyone understands my thought process behind it. So for me, I'm happy with avoiding that loss. Some may be happy with taking a small win. You know, it's really up to you and your size account.
CMND.
Major red flag spotted.
Still watching ticker
CMND.
testing resistance. Watching here. We have a cluster of resistance, so expecting choppy price action. I think that's what we're seeing on CMND. And the reason I'm saying that, guys, we have recent resistance through 154, so expecting that choppy price action through that level. In other words, we've got those bag holders, which we made a video about on YouTube recently about those bag holders. I think it's the #1 mistake for day traders, especially beginner day traders. But A lot of bag holders on CMND, and they're looking to exit their position. So they're looking to create
CMND.
price action. Getting a pop
CMND.
here, 30 seconds on that candle. Do not want to get caught in a false break. Looking for a close over resistance. We have filled the gap to 130, so really would like to see it over 130, but may take it over 121. We'll have to stay above that level. Will be high risk. Watching CMND here for a possible trade. 15 seconds on this candle for CMND. Watching.
CMND.
10 seconds on this candle. CMND. Watching here. And testing a cluster of resistance for
CHRO.
CMND.
Coming up, the ECB rate decision at 8:15.
And closing above our 121 support, needs to stay above that level.
At 8:30,
here, guys. We
building
have filled the gap to
permits
130, so very high risk.
For March, expecting
CMND, just not worth the risk for me at this time.
1.45
Does
million
not mean it
housing
won't go.
starts.
Right now is
1.42 million.
Sentiment needs to stay over 121. Anything under
Initial
120
claims
is considered bearish
225,000.
momentum for
Continuing
CMND.
claims
Needs to stay
1.87
over
million.
120. So 115, 120 acting as support.
Philly Fed manufacturing index
That's ticker
2.2 expected.
No position for myself. CMND is on watch.
CNTM. CYCU.
CYCU.
penny stock moving. That's CYCU.
Shares hitting 53 cents at the high now. Charlie
CMNT.
Charlie uniform.
And setting the chart in chat.
CMND.
CMND getting a small pop here.
Company
CMND
reported
testing
their
highs around
earnings.
130. That's CMND. Needs to stay above 120. Anything below 120 is considered
Had a-
bearish momentum. 115, 120 acting as
Earnings
support.
this
CYCU charts
year
coming in chat.
versus a loss of 14 cents year over year. That's
CYCU
Charlie
charts in
Yankee,
chat. Feel
Charlie
free to compare
uniform.
your levels to mine on ticker CYCU. No position for myself at this time. Watching CMND. CMND is currently above support 123, but we are in between a support resistance, seeing a cluster of resistance all the way from 126 now all the way through 150 and $2 on CMND, expecting choppy price action. At this point, needs to stay above 120. Anything below 120 is considered bearish momentum on CMND. We'll have to stay above that support level, 120. No position for myself at this time. We'll sit out for the moment.
QURE. 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 QURE.
Ticker QURE getting a small pop here.
QURE.
Testing the highs. QURE.
CHRO. CMND.
Ticker QURE showing a large float, 43 million share float, something to consider. No position for myself at this time.
CMND.
Major red flag spotted.
ECB cuts the refi rate to 2.4% from 2.65%, cuts deposit rate to 2.25% from 2.5%.
TGL.
ECB says most measures suggest inflation will settle around the 2% target.
CMND.
Major red flag spotted.
Ticker TGL getting a pop, mentioned in chat by Joey. TGL getting a pop here. The high today was 490 for TGL. We'll put a note in chat.
CMND.
490 was the high today for TGL. No position for myself at this time. TGL micro float getting a small pop here. The high today was 490. Current price is 444. Just off the highs, about 50 cents. That's TGL getting a pop near highs. And seeing some volume here on this micro float TGL. No position for myself at this time.
CHRO.
Ticker CHRO getting a small pop. That's CHRO getting a small pop here. Watching.
CHRO, CHRO, CHRO.
CHRO testing resistance. That's ticker CHRO. The high today was 257 for CHRO. We'll put a note in chat. 257 is the high for CHRO. Would like to see it close over resistance 258. We have filled a gap to that 258 resistance. That's CHRO. No position for myself at this time. Ticker CMND is testing resistance here. CMND getting a small pop, testing resistance 123. Watching CMND for a possible trade. CMND is on watch, will be high risk. If trading CMND, will mitigate risk by trading smaller size. Watching here, CMND needs to stay over 120. Anything under 120 is considered bearish momentum. CMND. Yeah, exactly. As Joey mentioned there, not the best setup. And that's exactly it, guys. We're just assessing the setup and seeing, is it high quality, low quality? If it's low quality, how do we treat it? Do we adjust our size? We adjust our stop level, or do we choose to avoid? So really our first order of business is determining the strength of the trend. And that's the point of the indicators, guys. Our trend IQ will let you know what level is to watch. Today it's 154.
QURE.
Find it
DXF.
first scanner alert.
DXF,
DXF
DXF,
on the scanners. That's ticker DXF.
DXF,
Getting a
DXF.
pop. DXF.
DXF,
That's ticker DXF.
DXF.
DXF charts in chat for DXF. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on ticker DXF. And getting a pop to $14. DXF, recent resistance through 20.
DXF, DXF,
getting a pop there.
DXF, DXF.
Hitting highs at 1479. That's DXF. 1479 new highs with a bullish vertical trend. Watching here. No position for myself. Yeah, DXF is not common shares.
DXF.
President Trump on Truth Social said had a productive meeting with the president of
highs,
Mexico
DXF,
yesterday.
1479, pulling back now 1255. No position. CMND is on watch for possible trades.
It
CMND
says likewise,
testing
I met with the
resistance.
highest Japanese trade, highest level Japanese
And
trade
no
reps.
position for myself
Very
at this time.
productive meeting. Every nation, including China, wants to meet today. Italy. That's from President Trump.
CMND.
Ticker CMND is getting a pop here, testing resistance. CMND.
CMND.
CMND getting a small pop here. CMND getting a small pop. Testing near highs 131. CMND testing near highs 131. No position for myself at this time. Watching here for a possible trade, but this is going to be low quality, so may not be trading on this one, or may just sit out. If trading CMND, we'll have to mitigate the risk by trading smaller size. Watching here CMND. Thank you, Kamos.
DXF.
For all your help today, as usual. Hope you and the family have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't talk to you, Kamos, hope you and your family have a great weekend. Have a great, happy Easter.
QURE.
QURE. CMND.
Major red flag spotted.
Yeah, guys, we've got tomorrow's off. No trading tomorrow. Good Friday. We've got Easter on Sunday, so a 3-day weekend here. That's nice, right? And we're going to have a trader's workshop, not this weekend. I'm pretty busy this weekend with family visiting, but the weekend after, we're going to have another trader's workshop. So I will announce that in chat, and we'll get together in Discord, have a live session where we just go over just common, procedures of how I went from red to green myself in my own experience, but also how some of our community members have gone from red to green as well. And that's not just in a single trade. We're talking about our accounts. So to go from red trades to green trades and to retain that profit, it's not easy. So I'll have a trader's workshop going over, again, some of the common pitfalls for myself in the beginning of my trading, and we'll open it up for a Q&A as well, and we'll discuss that together. So that'll be not this weekend, but the following weekend. I'll put an announcement.
Major red flag spotted.
This week. But no position for myself. CMND, they're failing below resistance again and now back below support. So no position for myself. Again, high risk on CMND. So if trading that one, it's just going to be small size. That's really all it is to it.
QURE. 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 QURE.
Ticker QURE getting a pop.
QURE.
QURE, Unicura making moving back towards the pre-market highs again now, 1420. Reported breakthrough therapy designation from the FDA for the Huntington's disease treatment.
Going to be high risk. QURE. Seeing lower volume, inconsistent volume, Price is becoming a
QURE.
bit extended into a cluster of resistance.
Quebec
However,
Uniform
we may
Romeo
just rip
Echo.
right through $15. So watching here on QURE and want to stick to my strategy. So
QURE.
trading this setup will be trading smaller size. QURE is on watch.
QURE.
Recent resistance through $15. QURE. So would like to see it over 15 and 15.50 for confirmation and continuation today. Alert set. QURE getting pop now 14.40. And no position for myself. QURE testing highs. And looking a bit extended. Doesn't mean it won't continue here, though. We've got resistance through $15 and 15.50 on QURE.
CMND.
Yeah, thank you, Kimos. Appreciate that. QURE is testing highs at 14.40 and seeing recent resistance through $15, expecting choppy price action. I know it's probably annoying to hear that over and over, right? But that's just the way it is, guys. You know, it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. The market's not giving us a high quality type setup, not right now anyway. So seeing a lower quality type setup, I just want to make sure that everyone is well aware of my approach. I'm sitting out.
Major red flag spotted.
It's just not there, right? It's just not the setup I'm looking for. So very high risk. But that being said, it doesn't mean there's not a trade to be had, right? So mitigating risk is going to be number one. So, maybe I could trade smaller size, and it depends. I mean, it's Thursday. Maybe I have a cushion built up. I've got a small cushion built up on the week, not a huge cushion. Typically, by now, I like to have a little bit larger of a cushion built up on the week so I can lean on that cushion to take these lower quality type of setups if I choose to. And that way I'm staying in the green on the week. But that being said, guys, these lower quality setups, they're stacking up. We're seeing a lot of them this week. And so last week, a lot of high quality setups. This week, a lot of low quality setups. That's the market that we have. So we're just here, prepared. We're ready to trade. We're staying disciplined. We're staying patient, right? If you're not patient, you're not disciplined, you're gonna really struggle to find consistent results in day trading. If you get caught emotionally trading, you're gonna get beat up. I think we can.
Coming up in a little over a minute now.
Position for myself this time. We've got a minute here until 8:30.
Building permits 1.45 million for March expected. Housing starts 1.42 million. The Philly Fed Manufacturing Index 2.2 expected. Initial claims 225,000. Continuing jobless claims 1.87 million. That's coming up in less than a minute now at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
ADGM micro
building permits 1.482 million versus 1.45 million expected. Housing starts coming in lower at 1.324 million versus the 1.42 million estimate. Initial claims 215,000 below the 225,000 expected. Continuing 1.885 million above the 1.87 million expected. The Philly Fed Manufacturing Index minus 26.4 versus plus 2.2 consensus.
News is in chat. 127 new highs. ADGM new highs. 127.
S&P futures right now relatively steady, down up about 26
news is in chat
now.
If you need it for ADGM, news is in chat. This is on watch for
Dow futures down 579. Nasdaq is up 144.
Very high risk. ADGM watching here for possible.
OSS One Stop System CEO and Chairman issues related to shareholders.
Price action
That's
$1 for ADGM.
Oscar Sandy DRIO Dario Health collaborates with leading national benefit plan administrator to offer cardio metabolic solution, including a GLP-1 support program to employers. That's Delta Romeo India Oscar DRIO.
ADGM is a micro float, so we'll move quick both up and down. Want to keep that in mind. That's ADGM. No position for myself at this time. VERB, another micro float on the scanner. VERB, getting low volume. VERB, we'll get a chart in chat.
XHLD 10 Holdings, subsidiary, delivers scalable solutions with zero downtime for a Big Four consulting firm's global broadcast. That is X-Ray Hotel
ADGM
Lima
news
Delta,
breakdowns in chat. This is something
XHLD.
new that we're doing.
ADGM.
Major red
Working
flag
on that.
spotted.
Verb, VERB, charts in chat, VERB. And seeing some news on Verb, sending the news in chat as well.
GLMD Galmed launches VCU collaboration to tackle drug resistance
Verb is
and
getting a pop here.
GI
Microflow,
cancers.
Verb,
Golf Lima Michael
VERB.
Delta. SIDU, Sidus Space, enables little place labs near real-time maritime intelligence with LizzieSat powered vessel detection
no position
solution.
for myself at
That's
this time.
Sandy
Was
India
watching
Delta
ADGM for
uniform,
possible trade, but pulling back
SIDU.
from highs 127. Want to see it over resistance. Seeing resistance now at 114.
QTRX.
Verb, news breakdowns in chat.
Kent Lake files definitive proxy statement, sends letter to Quantarix shareholders. That's Quebec Tango Romeo X-Ray, QTRX.
Hey, Azerty. Good morning, Azerty. Good morning, JD.
ADGM, Adagio Medical, receives FDA breakthrough therapy designation for the V-Class cryoablation system. That's
No
Alpha Delta
position for
Golf Michael,
myself at this time.
ADGM.
Verb, VERB, charts in chat. And ADGM, charts in chat. Couple of stocks hitting our scanners here recently. Watching for a possible trade. No position for myself at this time. ADGM will have to get over 114 resistance. Seeing 114. Seeing recent resistance through 167. We'll put the key
ADGM,
level in chat to
CHRO.
watch today for ADGM. ADGM will have to close over today. It has to close over 165 and 173 for continuation. That's ADGM. So it has a ways to go before we can get to that level. That's ADGM. No position for myself. Verb, VERB, getting a small pop and testing highs. And seeing low volume on that one, guys. We'll sit out for the moment. Verb, VERB, low volume, testing highs. No position for
CMND.
myself at the time. Whenever the volume is that low, guys, just not able to get filled on my order. So it would not get filled on a 5,000 or 10,000 share order. It just wouldn't happen. So Verb just has too little of volume. So we'll wait for volume to arrive before taking a trade. If trading something where it's a little bit, where it has that lower volume, it's just going to, again, be high risk. And you know, it's tough, especially for our YouTube Live crew out there. It's tough to sit here and constantly be like, guys, this one's bad, that one's bad. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that is my job, is to assess the conditions. So I'm just going over my thoughts and my process here. So hopefully that is helping others. But right now, seeing lower quality type setups on the board, and if trading a lower quality setup, I will mitigate risk.
ADGM.
Major red flag
This is
spotted.
the last day of the week, the last day of the trading week. And last thing I want to do is give back my weekly profit. So focusing on that, retaining that profit this week. PRTG, micro float, that's PRTG.
William
Micro
says
float,
it's really hard to
pop.
say what the Fed will do with rate
PRTG,
policy.
PRTG.
Inflation
micro
expectations
float,
are
pop now,
important to
PRTG,
watch
I'm gonna
now.
Find it first scanner. And seeing low volume on this micro float and prices extend.
Micro float
PRTG.
detected.
For myself, we'll get a chart in chat.
PRTG.
That's PRTG. Getting a pop here to highs 970. PRTG.
That's the New York Fed
Checking for
president.
news. Not seeing any news. PRTG at this time.
William says market pricing
PRTG.
reflects uncertainty about outlook.
And we'll adjust
My
to
basic
avoid
views
no
on
position
monetary
for myself,
policy
seeing
haven't
recent resistance
fundamentally
through 13
changed.
for PRTG.
That's the New York Fed
Now has
president,
resistance
Williams.
at 970, top of this move. We'll see if we can close over 970 for a very high risk type of setup on PRTG.
AXP,
PRTG,
American
excuse me.
Express CEO, on their
No
call
position for myself at this
says
time.
spending levels through the first week and a half in April remain consistent with Q1. That is Alpha X-Ray Papa, AXP. Says sequential slowdown in airline billings growth. That's Alpha X-Ray Papa.
ADGM.
Major red flag spotted.
and pulling back sharply. PRTG from those highs, 970. Again, that low volume.
Feds
guys,
Williams
red
says
flag.
key is
We
to
see that on the
watch
histogram.
how
So for anyone who's watching our
trade policies
our live
affect
stream here, I'll pull
inflation.
over the chart real quick. You guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see here on this chart, PRTG is showing low volume. So if I look at the histogram down below, this is one of our indicators. Seeing low volume, we want to see this in yellow or green. So really just color-coded at the bottom here, the volume histogram. Want to see that in yellow or green if trading. If I'm trading with red, that means it's very low volume, very high risk. And right now seeing a resistance zone at 970. So seeing an issue here and not something that I'm in love with trading. Seeing on the trend IQ, we have resistance through 13.
Fed needs to make sure one-time change in prices doesn't affect
this is
the longer run.
Trade or lotto trade at best. So again, the indicators are letting us know this is high risk, right? So if trading this one, just
tariffs will definitely impact inflation this year. Unclear how long it persists. Recent inflation has been good news, but still above target.
Microfloat getting a small pop, a little curl here. High is 127, started under $1, so we'll expect choppy price action on ADGM as well. And we'll wait for volume and a clean setup. No position for myself.
QURE.
Williams says doesn't make a prediction about recessions. It's essential to keep inflation expectations anchored.
ADGM.
And just a reminder, guys, today we will have the weekly educational newsletter. Will be out today after 4 p.m. Eastern time. Usually we send this out on Fridays, but we have an early start to our weekend this week. Tomorrow is off, so I want to make sure I get that out to everyone today so that way you can review over the weekend. That's our weekly educational newsletter, and we are working hard on getting all of the previous educational newsletters archived onto the website. So be aware of that. We will have those on there as soon as possible. OST getting a small pop, low volume. OST getting a small pop here. That's ticker OST showing a 1.3 million share float. We'll get the chart in chat. And again, seeing low volume at the start.
QURE.
OST.
QURE.
OST charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine. That's on OST charts in chat. And checking on news now. And not seeing any news from today on OST. We'll share the news that I'm seeing from yesterday. More broad market news.
OST.
And this is from yesterday, guys. Just put a note in chat. No position for myself at this time. OST getting a small pop. And
Feds Williams.
News is in chat.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York hosting the
State
of the Field Conference on Cyber Risk to Financial Stability. That event happening today. Feds Williams making those comments ahead of that event.
CMND.
CMND, Clear Mind Medicine on that patent news, moving back towards the highs again, $1.24. Charlie, Michael, November, Delta. CMND.
CMNT, 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 CMNT,
Ticker CMND getting a
CMNT,
pop. That's
verb,
CMND. Getting
verb,
a pop here.
Microfloat
CMNT,
detected.
verb, verb,
I think it's a bit extended here.
verb,
Verb getting a pop now. Verb,
verb.
VERB.
Major
getting
red
a pop.
flag
Volume
spotted.
now,
Verb.
VERB. That's ticker VERB getting a pop. Microfloat. Verb,
Verb.
VERB getting a pop now. And
Verb,
price looks extended. Doesn't mean it won't continue. But verb,
verb,
hitting high 611. No position for myself. Watching here for a possible trade. That's ticker VERB getting a pop now. 611. This is a micro float and pulling back sharply. Again, indicators letting us know it is extended. So just want to be careful if trading. We'll choose to mitigate risk or we'll choose to avoid. And right here, avoiding this setup and avoiding a major loss. Still watching here. Verb, VERB.
QURE.
Possible setup. Seeing recent resistance all the way through $8. So we'll expect choppy price action. If trading verb, we'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop level. No position for myself at this time.
QURE, QURE, QURE,
SLGL, Solgel, and Main Pharma announced purchase of Epsilay and Twinio in the U.S. That's Sandy Lima Golf Lima, SLGL.
verb,
Major red flag spotted.
Ticker BTTR on the scanners. That's BTTR on the scanners. Getting a pop with low volume. BTTR showing a 1.2
BTTR, share buyback.
BTTR,
Company reinstates
BTTR.
their stock repurchase program and
Starts in chat.
increases
Needed,
authorization
BTTR.
to $6.5 million. That's BTTR.
BTTR, BTTR,
Seeing recent resistance
Bravo
through
Tango
$3.
Tango Romeo.
BTTR. Resistance through 3. Seeing news and sharing the headline in chat. Headlines in chat for BTTR. That's ticker BTTR. News is in chat.
SMX and Aegis Packaging introduce
And
a
getting a pop
collaborative
and
fiscal
drop
to
on
digital
BTTR.
sustainable
No position
packaging
for
initiative.
myself
That's
at this
Sandy
time.
Michael
Hitting highs
X-ray.
around $2 and still seeing low volume. Volume is picking up, testing highs now. BTTR. BTTR news breakdowns in chat. for ticker BTTR, seeing recent resistance through $3. We'll expect choppy price action, setting alerts. $3 is the key level for BTTR. $3, setting alerts below key levels to better assess conditions before entering my trades. $3 will be the key level for BTTR.
Find it for
SLGL.
scanner alert.
$3 on BTTR. We'll expect choppy price action, and we'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop level.
Find it for
SLGL.
scanner alert.
SLGL on the scanners. SLGL getting a small pop. Penny stock. SLGL getting a small pop here. Price looks extended. No position for myself at the time. Setting the chart in chat. That's SLGL.
CHRO.
SLGL charts in chat. And checking on news. And sticker SLGL. News is in chat if you need it for SLGL. News is in chat. News breakdown for SLGL is in chat. News breakdown is in chat.
CMND.
United Health CEO says company's overall performance was unusual and unacceptable in Q1. That on their conference call, Uniform November Hotel. AMOD, Alpha Modus, takes legal action against OptiSigns for patent infringement. That's Alpha Michael Oscar Delta. AMOD.
Ticker STBX microfloat. That's STBX.
STBX.
United Health Group CEO says Q1 medical care
STBX.
activity for
STBX
Medicare
getting a pop.
Advantage plans
This was a
increased at
recent
twice
release
the rate
STBX.
seen in
Getting a pop below
2024.
volume.
Says
STBX.
Medicare
Microfloat
Medicaid
detected.
as
STBX.
expected during
STBX.
Q1.
Putting the chart in chat. STBX.
STBX.
STBX charts in chat for ticker STBX.
STBX.
And not seeing any news
STBX.
at this time for STBX. Microfloat getting a pop. to
STBX.
Seeing recent resistance through
DJT, Trump media alerts SEC to potential manipulation of DJT stock. That's Delta Juliet Tango, DJT. Trump media, operator of Truth Social,
for myself.
Sent the following memo to the SEC. Says the letter serves to inform you of suspicious activity related to a disclosure filed in Germany by the UK-based hedge fund Cube Research. The following data points raise critical questions about the timing and methods used in Cube's trading activities. Says on April 10th, Cube disclosed a nearly 6 million share short position in Trump media. According to NASDAQ, the total short interest as of March 31st was 10.7 million shares.
Ticker STBX, micro flow testing your highs 283 with low volume.
Shares of Trump
this time. That's STBX.
Right now, DJT, Trump media shares popping here, 2030 on some volume coming in now off of that press release. That's Delta Juliet Tango.
STBX, STBX,
Ticker
STBX, STBX
with low volume. STBX microflow getting a pop.
STBX, STBX.
That's ticker STBX getting a small pop here with low volume. Volume is picking up. STBX. And seeing low volume not in this position. STBX. Watching
STBX.
Trade. Microfloat will move quick both up and down with low volume.
STBX.
Testing highs now. 288.
STBX.
With low volume. That's STBX testing highs 288. No position for myself at this time.
STBX.
We'll sit out for the moment.
STBX.
CHRO.
STBX. STBX. STBX.
Ticker STBX new highs 291. STBX new highs 291. Volume is picking up. STBX. STBX getting a small pop. STBX. In STBX small size, we'll take profit at 3. Getting a pop here 298. Taking profit, guys, seeing it is extended.
STBX. STBX.
Out 90%.
STBX.
out 90%.
STBX. STBX.
Out 90%. STBX out 90%.
STBX. STBX.
Getting a pop here. STBX.
STBX. STBX. STBX. STBX. STBX. STBX. STBX.
Pop now just over 6%. If you're green, not a bad idea to lock in profit. STBX.
STBX. STBX.
Out 95%.
STBX.
Taking more profit out 95%. Quick scalp. STBX just over 6% on this trade. If you're green, not a bad idea to lock in profit. That's
STBX.
STBX. Now
STBX.
spiking here, up 10%. 330 is the high. STBX. And all out, taking my profit all out. Watching STBX, still watching here, all out. Very happy with profit made here, just under 10% on STBX. Quick scalp.
STBX.
And out green, 5 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern time. STBX is a micro flow with recent resistance. Something to consider.
STBX.
STBX.
For a possible trade. In out green and locked in my profit. And pulling back now from highs. Want to see it now over 330. Resistance at 330 and 332. STBX, no position for myself at this time.
STBX.
And we'll trade smaller size. Green on STBX, green on TGL this morning, and looking to protect my profit. This is the last day of the trade week here. Tomorrow will be off. No trading tomorrow. STBX pulling back sharply from highs 330. No position for myself. Want to see it close now over that 330 and 332 resistance on STBX. Will be high risk. Seeing recent resistance all the way through $4 and $4.50 on STBX. So again, expecting choppy price action. No position for myself at this time.
CMND.
And really, guys, just trading what's in front of us. So some of these trades
United
will be,
Health
faster than
CEO
others. I
says
like to be
many
in a trade
current
a
and
lot
new
longer
complex
than what we're seeing
patients
this
were
morning.
more affected
But this
by
week
certain
is just not
CMS model
presenting
changes in
the type of
Q1.
setups to hold on
So
to those
evidence of
positions
sharply
for
higher
long
and
term.
earlier wellness
So for me,
visits to
just quick
primary care
scalping in
physicians
out
from
green,
older
lock in the
Americans.
profit, hold a lotto in case I feel there's continuation. That's my process. And for me, stopping out in the green, very happy to say
Major red flag
profit protection
spotted.
mode is on. Small, but still getting in the green this morning on the last day of the week. Green on the week, so I have a cushion that I'm carrying over into today's session. Last thing I want to do is overtrade or oversize on lower quality type setups. and get back on
SNCY,
profit.
Sun
So we'll
Country
focus
CFO
on risk
stepping down,
mitigation.
naming a new
STBX, quick
CFO.
trade in
Sun
out.
Country
Watching
Airlines,
for it to get
sending
over
November
330 for
Charlie
another possible
Yankee.
trade. 330 and
That in a filing.
332 resistance on STBX. No position for myself at the time. All out of all positions.
CHRO.
CHRO getting a small pop. That's CHRO getting a small pop here. The high today was 256. That's CHRO. The high today was 257. I'll correct that in chat. Off by a penny. 257 was the high. Current price is 232. Getting a small pop with volume. That's ticker CHRO. Watching for a possible trade. Seeing resistance through 250 and 258. We'll expect choppy price action in CHRO. Would like to see it over resistance of 250 and 258 for confirmation and continuation. CHRO is in our squeeze potential channel today, guys. On CHRO, key levels are listed 258 and 305. Close above 258 will then have to hold. Next major resistance above that is going to be 305. A cluster of resistance through that level. That's on CHRO alert set. And no position for myself at this time, guys. Trade Ideas is running a really great sale right now for Easter. You can check out the link in the description. If you guys use my link and you use that Easter promo code there, you can get 25% off or 30% off of Trade Ideas. I think that's really cool.
Find it first scanner alert.
Each day.
Find it first scanner alert.
MITQ hitting the scanners now. MITQ. Penny stock getting a pop here to high 75 cents. MITQ will get
MITQ getting a pop here. Michael India Tango, Quebec.
MITQ chart is in our Discord chat. MITQ. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on MITQ. And I am seeing news this morning. We'll share the headline. Headlines in chat for MITQ. Headline is in chat.
Moving Image Technologies partnering with Samsung in the U.S. debut of the Samsung Onyx Cinema LED screen at Cannon Beach in Arizona. That's MITQ.
Ticker MITQ. News is in chat. Getting a pop to highs 75 cents. Penny stock moving here. Following news. No position for myself at this time. MITQ news breakdown is in chat if you need it.
United Health CEO says expects full year medical care ratio to be 87.5% plus or minus 50 basis points.
It is 9 a.m. Eastern time. Market updates in chat if you need it. And watching for volume.
DXF, STBX.
Major red flag spotted.
Ticker DXF getting a pop here. DXF is on watch. DXF testing near resistance. 1479 was the high today. DXF. DXF is testing resistance. That's ticker DXF. Testing resistance.
LMT, Lockheed Martin, said the company will reaffirm the
$15
previously issued guidance. LMT, Lima Michael Tango.
No position for myself at this time. And a lot of our strategies, guys, all of our strategies are actually built with risk mitigation built into them. So if you're using our indicators, you're going to see that most of them are built with risk mitigation. Number one, maximizing profits. Number two, of course, you can use the trend indicators to maximize profit, stay in those trades longer, but using our indicators to aid in entry and exit will help mitigate risk, of course. So looking for it to stay above each level it closes above here.
STBO.
Major red
currently
flag
testing
spotted.
Resistance. We have resistance all the way through highs of 1479 for DXF. No position for myself, seeing a bullish vertical trend. Seeing a bullish vertical trend on DXF. No position for myself at this time.
FUBO, FUBO retains exclusive rights to Premier League in Canada with multi-year agreement beginning for the 2025-2026 season.
Seeing a small pop on ticker.
That's
MURA,
FUBO.
Small pop here. We'll get a chart in chat.
Proof of concept data for rare disease indications, MVID and SBSIF for Jaguar House crofelemer to be presented at Elite PEDGI Congress. That's JAGX.
This is a recent runner and hit recent highs around $4 and $4.50. We'll expect choppy price action. Not seeing any news at this time for MURA. No position for myself.
CYCU AREC.
Ticker AREC, cheap stock under $1, penny stock moving. That's AREC. We'll get a chart in chat. AREC, charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on ticker AREC. This was a mover yesterday. Penny stock mover is now over $1. That's
SDOT, Sadat Group, announcing first commodity trades through new South Korea subsidiary. That's Sandy Delta Oscar Tango, SDOT.
AREC testing highs at 128 and testing a cluster of resistance. That's ticker AREC.
AREC, 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 AREC.
Ticker AREC getting a pop to highs 132. That's AREC getting a pop here to 132 highs. No position for myself at this time. We'll sit out for the moment. And seeing volume here on this move, AREC testing a cluster of resistance all the way through one.
CYCU.
AREC. AREC.
MU, Micron announcing business unit reorganization to capitalize on AI growth across all market segments. That's Michael Uniform. MU.
CYCU, cheap stock under $1, getting a pop as well. CYCU getting a pop to highs 57 cents. And price looks to be extended. No position.
Micron to complete business reorganization by early fiscal Q4 2025. That's Michael Uniform, MU.
And DXF
to form 4 new business units: CMBU, CDBU, MCBU, and AEBU.
Low quality type setups. That's okay. Just will mitigate risk by trading smaller size, or we'll choose to avoid. DXF getting a small pop into resistance. AREC is doing the same here, getting a pop and testing
AREC.
Company announcing the heads of its new units.
Expecting choppy price action. And this one started under $1 yesterday, so I want to be very careful. DXF pulling back sharply there, and that's something that we're looking for.
Micron shares not reacting much to that news right now.
So avoiding a major loss. And that is the point of the way we trade, guys. That is the point of the way we teach our strategies here.
Up 73 cents in the pre-market. That's MU, Michael Uniform.
Not just throwing the kitchen sink at anything that hits the scanners. That's not how we trade. So if you want to learn more, guys, join Bullish Bob Live.
Find it for scanner
CGTX.
alert.
How to avoid these nasty pullbacks like DXF. They're not getting caught, and that is a major win for me. CGTX getting a small pop. CGTX penny stock. So penny stocks are starting to get hot here, guys. Usually that's a sign that the market is on the weaker side.
CYCU,
So may not be
CMND.
seeing our high quality type setups today. May only see these lower quality setups. That's okay. Just want to make sure we're focused on risk mitigation. It's the last trade day of the week. CGTX is in chat. That's CGTX. Charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine. I'm not seeing any news on CGTX at this time. And getting a pop to highs, 41 cents CGTX. Not seeing news at this time.
CHRO.
And just because DXF pulled back nasty like that doesn't mean it's not tradable. So
GOGO announcing first STC for direct current version of plain simple K band terminal. That's Golf Oscar, Golf Oscar. GOGO. President Trump and Italy's Meloni will work together to end the war in the Ukraine. That, according to a senior White House official.
CYCU.
Trump and Meloni also discuss ways to promote space cooperation.
ticker CYCU testing highs. That's CYCU testing highs now 58 cents for ticker CYCU. I've got about just about 20 minutes here until market open. No position for myself. I'm green on the day, STBX and TGL. Yesterday was a tough pre-market session for me, guys. I was started out red, dug myself in a small hole, pulled it back to green, back to red. So red, green, red, green, red, green, right. But after market open, was able to catch a couple nice trades with our team and pull myself out, lock it in, and shut it down so the market could not have it back. But that being said, guys, it's not been one of those fluent price action type of weeks. So trading these lower quality type setups is something that you know, we're all coming to work and looking for a high quality type setup. Doesn't mean that the market is going to present that to us. So we are trading what's in front of us and making sure that we're focused on our strategy, our rules, and focused on risk mitigation, number one. But no position for myself. Our lead gap list is CHRO up 80%, SMX is up 47%, QURE is up 39%, and DXF is up 33%. And so far traded this morning, a couple trades, STBX and TGL.
AREC.
Small wins will add up, but a large loss could wash those out. So last thing I want to do is get caught over trading, sizing on lower quality type setups. AREC is on watch here. AREC is on watch for possible trade. Will be high risk. You know, this one started under $1 yesterday, so that is a
AREC.
for AREC, something to consider. Watching here for a possible trade on AREC testing resistance. And new highs at 132 for AREC. We'll trade smaller size if taking this setup. AREC has resistance all the way through 150, so expecting some choppy price action on the way up to that 150 level. If we can clear over 150, we have room for continuation on AREC. So we'll set alerts below that 150 level. So really, if we get above that, that's where I'm watching to trade a little bit more aggressive. AREC testing highs.
AREC. 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 AREC.
AREC. I'll take a small trade here. Very high risk.
AREC.
Just taking a lotto. AREC testing multiple resistance levels. We'll take profit quick if we can hit 136.
Major red flag
Looking
spotted.
for a 136 test. We'll take some profit there. Or we'll stop out. If we start to pull back under 128, I will stop out. No exceptions. So 128 is my cutoff.
AREC.
Mental stops here in the pre-market session. We'll take some profit if we can reach 136. Under 128, I will cut. No exceptions. That's AREC. Holding here. And getting a pop. 134, testing highs. Looking for 136 on this. It may not get there, guys. Trading smaller size here to mitigate risk. 136 will be my target. So do or die lotto here. 136 is my target. Under 128, I will cut. No exceptions. Very high risk setup, AREC, expecting choppy price action. So trading smaller size to mitigate that risk. Holding here and watching for that 136 test. Or under 128 will stop out. 136 will take profit. Holding AREC. Under 128, I will stop out. No exceptions. Finger on the sell hotkey here. 128 is my cutoff. No exceptions. That's AREC. Would like to see it stay over 128. Still holding here. Under 128, I will cut. No exceptions. AREC. 136 will take some profit if we can reach 136. Seeing resistance through 150, expecting choppy price action. AREC. Testing highs now. Looking for a test of 136. We'll take some profit there. Looking for 136 to take profit on AREC. 136.
AREC.
Testing highs now.
AREC.
134. Looking for a pop to 136.
AREC.
If we can get there, I will take more profit.
AREC.
Resistance at 135 and 136 for AREC.
AREC.
Testing resistance here at cluster.
CHRO.
Resistance, expecting choppy price action. We'll stop out if we start to pull back under
AREC.
128. I have a sell set at 136. Looking for it to pop to that level. Very high risk here, guys. AREC will not add to my position, holding a small size. If we start to come under now 130, I will cut. Under 130, I will cut. Looking for a test of 136 and new highs on AREC to take profit. And just holding here.
Find it first
SXTC.
scanner alert.
SXTC, microflow, SXTC. Microflow, SXTC. And want to make sure I'm focused on that as well. SXTC getting a pop, microflow.
AREC.
AREC under 130 I will cut, no exceptions. SXTC, charts in chat for SXTC. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on SXTC.
SXTC. SXTC. SXTC.
All out of AREC, all out. So stopping out flat here, just under my position here. So small loss, but flat on AREC overall. And watching here, no position for myself, all out. That's AREC, all out. So gave it a chance, guys. It was a do or die lotto. And I was green on the trade, but not much. It was just a few pennies here. But looking for that 136, looking to squeeze into that high. Right now we do have resistance, so watching AREC for a possible trade, but want to see it back over resistance first. So if we can clear over 134, 135, I may take a trade here. Just keep in mind we have resistance from 134 to 150 on AREC. I'm expecting choppy price action. Another thing worth noting is that yesterday this one started around under $1. So AREC started under $1, penny stock mover. So expecting choppy price action throughout the day, regardless of what levels we're trading. So that just means red flags. I will mitigate risk by trading smaller size.
HTZ.
AREC, want to see it over 134 before getting back in. No position for myself at this time. SXTC looks to be a pop and drop with low volume. Seeing low volume on the histogram there. 139 is the high. And now curling a little bit here. We'll have to get over 136 with volume to be considered. That's SXTC. The high is 139. No position for myself at this time. Watching SXTC and AREC.
CHRO.
We've got about 15 minutes here until market open. CHRO getting a pop with volume. That's CHRO getting a pop with volume.
AREC.
AREC getting a
AREC.
pop as well. Watching AREC for a possible trade here. Back in AREC, very high risk. Back in, small size, 136. We'll take some profit at 136. If we can reach 136, we'll take some profit. Very high risk here on AREC, guys.
HTZ.
Under 130, I will cut. Looking for 136 as a target. That's AREC.
AREC. AREC.
Looking for a test
AREC.
of 136 on AREC. We'll take profit if we can reach 136.
AREC.
Looking for 136 AREC. Very high risk. Under 130, I will cut. No exceptions. Very high risk here. I want to be careful here. Do not want to add aggressive on AREC. So trading smaller size with my cushion from this morning on AREC.
AREC.
So we'll remain green on the day. Looking for 136 to take some profit. And pulling back sharply. All out. AREC. All out. Back down to the 130. And this is where I'm looking to get in, guys, right around the 130, but has to stay above 130. So keeping it as tight as possible. All out. AREC will have to stay above that 130 level. Seeing 134 resistance as well, and a cluster through 150, so expecting choppy price action. No position for myself at this time. All out under 130 is bearish momentum for AREC. Would like to see it close over 134 and
CHRO.
136 before getting back in. Setting alerts. And just because AREC is failing these levels at this time, guys, does not mean I want to dismiss it. I want to make sure that I'm focused on setting alerts below these key levels. AREC has potential for that breakout
CHRO
type strength. We'll have to close over resistance 134 and 136, but will be high risk. Seeing a number of red flags on this one. AREC started under $1. AREC has a 51 million share float, so a larger float. And a few red flags here, just letting us know that if trading it, we'll mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop level, or we'll choose to avoid. And the reason I choose to avoid a lot of times, guys, is because I either don't have a huge cushion built up to take those lower quality type setups, or it's earlier parts of the week where I'm still working on that. So AREC qualifies as a lower quality type setup. So we'll keep it on watch, setting alerts below our 136 level, close above 136 and 150s on watch for continuation. Hey guys, we've got about just about 10 minutes here until market open. And for those listening in on our YouTube pre-market show, thank you for joining in, guys. Really appreciate your time. We're going to host this next week as well. So if you have the time, if you're available next week, we'll post the link in our Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, definitely join there. You can join for free at bullishboblive.com. If you're in the free section of our Discord, you'll get all the updates as soon as possible. If you join our mailing list, we'll send you updates as well. But we'll host this as well next week, and because I think this was a short week and really a lackluster type of week. We had a really stagnant type of price action throughout the week this week. Last week was really hot with JNVR and a couple others, but so really nice wins last week. Small wins add up this week, but those can be washed out with a large loss. So last thing I want to do is overtrade or oversize on lower quality type setups. So just want to be aware of that. But
10 minutes until market open.
If you want to join in, I go live every day in our Discord at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Usually finish my trading around 10 a.m. Eastern time, roughly, depending on if I'm still in the trade or if there's a nice setup, whether or not I'm still trading. But that will be in our Discord. So you can join up at bullishboblive.com. And we'll be shutting down the stream on YouTube around 9:30 today. And for those listening in on Discord, we'll be here until about 10 a.m.
HTZ.
AREC pulling back from the highs. Not too concerned with it. HTZ is continuing to hit highs. Yesterday, HTZ made a strong move all the way from, I believe the low was around $3.
HTZ.
It was around $3 and hit a high last night of $9. Incredible move for HTZ. This is a large float name, but it is on watch for continuation. You can see that on our Trend IQ. We'll send a chart in chat for levels to watch. This will be tough for me to trade. Showing that larger float means we will have choppy price action. But this is a really nice trend trade for anyone who's been trading HTZ. Charts in chat if you need it. No position for myself. There was news yesterday on HTZ, and the high was $9 in the aftermarket. You can see that on the Trend IQ. So, guys, so far for me today, TGL green, STBX green, AREC flat, but on the red side. So AREC gave back my profit
HTZ.
and just gave it a chance to do
HTZ.
die lottos, eating away at some of my profit, but keeping it tight to mitigate risk and to retain my profit on the week has worked out for me. So green on the day, but not much, nothing crazy. Small wins adding up, but large losses will wash those out. So we'll focus on my rules to my strategy to ensure consistent results. Today, for our premium members, you guys will have the educational newsletter will be out today at 4 p.m. Eastern
HTZ,
time.
Hertz Global.
Should be coming through your email. If you're
Yeah,
not
the
getting it in your email,
pre-market
guys,
highs
check
now
the
$7.87,
promotions, the spam. There's so many
up
folders now in there that they like to throw
$2.17.
everything into. So
Again, that
make sure you check it
steak
out. And if
from
you can,
Bill
just whitelist
Ackman,
us. That way it comes right to your inbox at all
Hotel
times.
Tango
So if you
Zulu.
whitelist us in your email account, it will then be in your inbox as soon as possible. But today, after 4 p.m. Eastern time, we'll send that out. Educational newsletter will be available.
AREC,
AREC getting a small pop, and we'll watch AREC
HTZ.
open, and we'll trade smaller
HTZ.
size AREC, showing a larger flow,
HTZ.
showing a cluster of resistance on AREC, and started under $1
CHRO.
yesterday. So multiple red flags, guys. Can't stress that enough. So that means I will adjust my size of trading AREC, and we'll be trading with my weekly cushion, and that way I ensure that I will stay green on the day. So we'll be watching here. No position for myself at this time. We've got about just over 5 minutes until market open.
AREC. AREC.
Watching AREC here for a possible trade. That's AREC. Getting a small pop here watching. Again, a cluster of resistance from, let's see, 134 to 150. So expecting choppy price action. Watching AREC for a possible trade. Testing resistance here. For those trading with the Pivot Pro in the regular market session, I will be changing my settings. So on the 10-second chart, I changed my settings to quick trade settings instead of long trade settings on the Pivot Pro. So just so everyone is well aware, anyone who's trading with the Pivot Pro with me today or any day, the 10-second chart, I switched from quick trade settings to long trade settings during the regular market hours. So regular market hours, I like long trade settings, quick trade settings during the market hours. So that way I can mitigate risk a little bit quicker. So quick scalps and get out of positions as they pull back sharply. And during the pre-market session, I prefer the longer trade setting on the 10-second chart. So just so everyone is well aware. And if you have any questions, just reach out. And seeing AREC is pulling back from highs here, 135. Watching this chart, but want to see it over resistance first before getting in. I've got resistance at 134, so has to get over 134 minimum first on AREC. Has to close over 134 using the 134. OST getting a pop. OST getting a pop now. OST. Seeing a pop on OST with some volume picking up. OST. We'll resend the chart in chat. Have sent this earlier, but we'll send it again. OST charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on OST. Getting a low volume pop. Still low volume here, but picking up. That's OST. 229, 230. OST spiking here. And seeing recent highs through $4. Expecting choppy price action. No position for myself. Volumes coming in. OST.
Post.
And getting a pop here. Seeing the price is extended. No position. 235 highs for OST. All right, guys, for those listening in on YouTube, we'll be shutting it down here in just a minute. Thank you for joining in. If you want to join in every day live, I'm live trading, going over my trades in voice. You can join bullishboblive.com, and we'll have a live traders workshop in about, not this weekend, we've got Easter this weekend. So if I don't see you guys, have a happy Easter. Enjoy the time off with your family, and I'll see you back here Monday in the YouTube live stream. For everyone who's listening in on Discord, I will be in chat until I'm done trading, and right now I'm still watching for trades, so you guys just stay tuned. We'll see what we get at market open. But guys, thank you on YouTube. I appreciate your time and appreciate your help. And you guys, if you want to join in again, we'll start this back up next week. If you want the alerts for it, we've got the free Discord. Join bullishboblive.com. You can see the free Discord link at the bottom of that page, and feel free to join in. That way you get those updates and alerts ahead of time, so when we go live, you'll get the alert there. So but we will be live probably 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time roughly on Monday. So guys, enjoy your time off. Have a very happy Easter, and I'll see you then. Thanks, guys.